everyone. Welcome again to SDVoE Presents Face-to-Face AV with Justin Kennington. That's me, your host, Justin Kennington, and today I'm joined by one of the earliest adopters of SDVoE technology and earliest members of the SDVoE Alliance, Keith Kennedy, who's the Managing Director for ProITAV US.
Correct.
That is half the alphabet. Now I see why he said that.
That
Keith,
is.
Thanks for joining us.
You know, as always, thanks for having me, Justin. It's good to see you again.
You too. I thought today, let's get down to some basics that I feel like, I know something about, you know something about, but our audience might not really know well. And that is the place in our industry of a company like ProITAV, right? A China-based ODM, or what does that stand for? Original Design and Manufacturer? Right, let's talk about what that really means. What do you do?
Okay, well that's actually a really good question, and a lot of people are confused about that from time to time. And so I'll kind of explain the model and then also explain why we're completely different than the vast majority
Sure.
of the companies out there.
Sure.
So, an OEM, ODM manufacturer is somebody that makes products for other companies, whether it be, taking a standard product and putting some other company's name on it, or making some other custom product for them from the ground up. And that's the difference between OEM and ODM. So they will make products for other companies that either don't have the capability of making products on their own, or maybe they're just so big and so busy that they can't get to everything else. So they focus on some things themselves, and then they use companies like ours to make part of their product lines. We're happy to take on any and all opportunities like that. So we have a standard line of products, even SDVoE products, some of them on display here in your booth, that any customer can come and say, I want to buy 5 of those. Not really. I want to buy 100 of those at minimum, and I want to have my name on it and do a box and a manual and all that kind of stuff, and we're going to sell it in the marketplace. And that's the standard OEM business, or what we like to call lick and stick. Okay, where we take somebody else's logo and we stick it on the product and we move on. And that's what a lot of people think that Chinese manufacturer does, is they just take and flood the market with product with everybody's name on it, and it's all the same.
And to me, I've got this picture I've just formed in my head of sort of the stack, I'll call it, of product development, right? And that's a 3 or 4 steps probably. You got to think of what it is. What do you want to do? Define the product.
Right.
Then you pass that off to some hardware engineers to literally design the product, hook up the chips and pins and everything.
Don't forget the software too.
And then, that's an important component here, but not part of this stack that I'm getting to. And then at the bottom, somebody has to manufacture it, right?
Right.
And I think where we're going to really talk about here is how you can kind of slice off at any one of those levels. So here, you call the lick and stick model. That's at the, I'm not even going to develop the product, design the product. I'm going to say, Keith, what have you got in the catalog? That one looks great.
Yep.
And then you do it all.
And we do a bunch of that. But really where the vast majority of our business is, and where our customers get successful, is when they really understand who their customers are and what value they as a brand bring to the market, and they insert themselves in that process somewhere earlier.
Yeah.
It could be a full-on ODM or custom project from the very beginning, where they come to us with an idea, and then we riff on that idea, we come up with the actual concept, and then once it's all approved, we design it and manufacture it, and it's their product. You'll never see it with anybody else's name on it, because it's theirs. And then there's others that maybe they don't need that, or they don't have as much of a command on what it is that they're going to do. We'll do something in between, a derivative, where maybe we'll take something out of our catalog and make some changes to it that differentiates it for that customer, and bring that to market. So we have lots of different ways. We basically tell customers we have 3 ways, once we get to know you, 3 ways to do business. We have the OEM or lick and stick business, we have derivative business, and then we have the full-on custom ODM model. And the customers we work with on that are really the ones that we're most successful with, and that's where the majority of our volume comes from.
Makes sense, because that's at that point, it's the company with the brand that has designed the product, right? And why did they design the product? Presumably because they saw a problem in the market, they wanted to solve it.
Yes.
You know, and that's, of course, that's a more successful approach than you know, finding something and saying, oh, let's have that.
Correct.
That
Correct.
said, I imagine you must have a team of folks who are out there. Your catalog didn't get full by just throwing darts at a board.
Correct.
Right? Somebody over there has some intelligence and is saying, what do we think that the industry, the market's going to want?
Right. So, you know, that leads us to how we're kind of different. You know, there's a lot of companies out of Asia that make products in the signal management and communications market. But we are the only company that has the full service team that we have, where it's not just our team in China and me out here, which is what most of the companies out of Asia do. We have a real U.S. company, an office. We have a team of engineers, project management, marketing, creative people that can work with our customers and also do our own market research to figure out what that catalog of product should be. Because obviously we did the research in the beginning way back in 2013, 2014 when the Blue River, soon to be SDVoE technology was just, you know, an idea in somebody's head, and we were the first ODM in the world to bring product using the technology. So we did that research and figured that out. And so we do some of our own, and then we obviously work with our customers to enhance their capabilities.
Yeah, and you did it without a fan too.
Exactly.
5 years before everyone else had an ASIC.
Yes, we did. We were the only company to say, you know, we're going to make it look like a 1980s car stereo amplifier and with the giant heat sinks, but, you know, we're going to make it to where we're not worried about a fan failing or a fan making noise.
We're having fun about it, but that is identifying a real market need and saying, how do we, there may be an engineering challenge here, but that's the point of engineering challenges, is to find problems that make better products by solving them.
Exactly.
I used to, this was years ago, at that other company I used to work with, I needed some problem solved, and engineering was whining and complaining, oh, why do we have to do all this work? I don't want to do that. And I had to draw these stick figures for them. I drew a stick figure and I said, this is the customer.
Right.
And he's sad because he has a problem. But he has this big sack of money, you know, and I drew a sack with a dollar sign on it.
Right.
Here's the engineer, he's happy because he doesn't have anything to do, he can go play.
Right.
But if he gets to work, it makes him sad, and then the customer gives him the sack of money.
Right.
And then he's happy.
Isn't it amazing
so go get
how
to work
that
and
happens?
fix it.
I know. We all have those challenges. And
oh boy.
But that's why we have jobs.
It's true, and that, you know, that's the point I was making, and it applies to you and me just as much.
Exactly.
I mean, not me, obviously. I volunteer for this gig, but but I understand everyone else is paid to be here.
And you don't do anything throughout the day anyway. You just kind of sit in the chair. I mean, last year you said they just wheel you off the plane and put you in the chair, and then at the end of the show...
Last year they wheeled me right back onto the plane. I literally, like, the show ended at 4, and I had like a 5:45 flight.
Really?
It was like zip, zip, zip.
Awesome.
Out of here.
Must be awesome to be you.
It has its moments. Keith, really though, thank you for joining us. Thanks for explaining this. Like I said, it's something that I take for granted just as someone who's been in manufacturing and that side of the business for so long, but I think a lot of the audience was maybe curious to learn about it, and I hope you enjoyed hearing it. Thank you for joining us, Keith. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below to make sure you don't miss an episode of Face to Face AV, and thank you for watching Face to Face AV.